Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you're tuned in here to the BitLab Academy daily live stream every day, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let me know if the audio, visual, everything's working perfectly. I had to make some changes on my end, but I just want to shout out, and I'm going to start the stream by saying, I got it back, baby. It is a wonderful day. It's Friday. I got the word last night from Coinbase. My account was taken care of. And it's all because, not because I'm somebody that's doing these streams. It's because I followed all the steps that needed to be followed to ensure that my security was in place, my two-factor, all the things that needed to happen in order to get these funds reimbursed was in place. I also filled out a police report with the FBI. I did all the steps required, and I mean, this was a very, very highly sophisticated, highly coordinated attack in order to get these funds out of my account. So I'm so excited, so happy, relieved that I got that money back. It wouldn't have destroyed me. However, nobody wants to lose any amount of money, let alone $30,000+. And then just to put any sort of trolls, arguments to rest. Yes, you shouldn't have stuff on exchange, but if you're trading actively, where do you have it? On exchange. So, but what did I do? And what I want to sort of highlight here before we jump into all the data for the day, I want to just point out that part of the reason why I would have been okay if this happened was because this wasn't everything I had. This was the allocation of what I was spot trading. I like to spot trade at these levels when we're very in this accumulation zone, and so I was spot trading, and I still have my cold storage set up that is safe from any sort of malicious activity, also safe from making stupid decisions. It's that long-term holder portfolio, and that's one of the things I just want to point out to everybody is that you want to make sure that you are allocating your funds in a way and diversifying not only the coins in your account, not only the coins in your wallet or wallets, I should say, but you want to diversify how and where you are allocating your funds to hold. So if you are trading, great. You should not be trading with your entire portfolio because you'll make more because it's more that you're trading. Well, every dollar that you have available on exchange, every dollar or coin or every value of asset that you are exposing to trading is also exposing to more risk. So I want you to take account of where you have your money stored, how it's stored. Do you have all the security measures in place? And the last thing I'll say, if you are on Coinbase, and I want to special shout out to Coinbase on this. If you're not a member of Coinbase One, this is not a sponsored bit whatsoever. I just want to shout them out because this was a incredible protection that is part of that Coinbase One membership. You get up to $1 million. Basically, for unauthorized access on your account, you get up to $1 million coverage. It only happens once, but I did all the steps that they asked me to. I made sure that I had all the security factors in place that are required, which is like having two-factor authentication to an app, not to your email. Making sure that you have there's a number of steps. You'll have to read through them. But if you're not a part of that, definitely check it out because it saved me $30,000 right here. So I don't mind the $30 monthly fee for that Coinbase One membership. So with that all being said, how is everybody else doing today? Shout out chat. Shout out Mr. Matt C. I hope your wife's feeling better, my friend. I hope you brought her that soup with the ramen noodles as we discussed yesterday. Shout out King Peasant, Mike Volomir, Brad Guidell, Alex Green. My MVP here, Crimson Caravan Company, Joey Rogers, Karen Swigart Harris, so many wonderful people, Taylor Brown, Duncan Gornall, Scott Rod. The last few days, he's been the first person in chat, so shout out to everybody that's tuning in here on a daily basis. Really big love to everybody, and I'm so thrilled that I didn't have to wait 6 months from now until the prices, were through the roof and I'd have to reallocate those funds at higher prices. So I'm happy to see that this $30,000 hack was resolved. I got the funds back, so a little jumping hallelujah for that. For anybody that's new here, my name's Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. It really helps drive engagement here on the channel, as well as lets the algorithm know, YouTube know that people are engaging with what's happening here. And it's a very easy, simple way for you to just we're spending this time putting this content together, free content for you. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. We'd love to have you here in the community. a community of empowerment, engagement, bridging that gap from beginner to pro. We're not just looking at TA all day long, every day. We're trying to really break down each day slightly different concepts as to how we're finding these target levels, how we're setting these trend lines, how we're using these Fibonacci's, how to utilize different indicators and tools, and how to find those points of confluence so that you can be consistently profitable over time. That's what we're doing here at the BitLab Academy, daily live streams. So the market has been pushing up, and that is great to hear. I do want to say I ask everybody to do this every stream because we like to sort of build the community here. It's not just about me talking to you. So go ahead, put in where you're from. Let us know what you're born on date. What's the last 3 coins that you DCA'd in or traded? Excuse me. Let us know, you know, when I start seeing a variety of different coins, maybe sometimes there's a dominant sort of thing within our community of a project I'm not even aware of or having had looked at lately. So I'd like to see what you guys are interested in. Put them in here in the chat. Write it in here. Write it below if you're watching later. If you're watching over on Hit Network, shout out to all the people there at Hit Network as well. And if you haven't yet, when you're not watching this channel, make sure you check out Hit Network. And that is, where is it at? Somewhere here. Boom, right there. Okay, so if you haven't yet, make sure you go over here and check out Hit Network, which is youtube.com/@HitNetworkOfficial. We do 24/7 live streaming there of all the content here within the BitLab, within the BitBoy Hit Network community. Not only me, Frankie Candles around the blockchain, BitBoy Crypto, Wendy O is all, we restream her stuff as well. And I believe we also do Sin City Crypto and some other stuff. So this is 24/7 nonstop stuff. So definitely check them out if you haven't. If you are watching there, then please make sure you come over and check out bitlabacademy.com and follow all these socials. Man, I feel like a bug flew in my throat. And then lastly, make sure that you come and check out, if you haven't yet, if you're watching this somewhere else or a shared clip, make sure you come and check out youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. So with that being said, let's jump right into stuff today. Is anybody else excited? Are you bullish or bearish? Are you looking for at the rejection we just had at 25,230, 220-ish area? Are you looking at that rejection like we are going to go back down? Let me know in chat. Do you feel like we're absolutely going to break down here in the next 2 or 3 weeks and actually get that CME gap closed at $19,900 area? Or do you think that this small pullback is a bullish pullback and we're going to find support as we currently have and going to continue going to the upside? Let me know in chat. Let me know in comments below. Where do you think we're going to be at the end of Q1, March 31st, 2023? What price level do you think Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano are going to be at the end of Q1? Because that's going to, you know, that's sort of how we have to consider what the market's doing so we can have our strategy in place. If we have a bullish sort of thesis around things are happening, then we need to be looking at targets in that way, while also trying to dismantle that thesis by looking at downside price action to get some sort of viewpoint, a contrarian viewpoint, so we can protect ourselves and have those stop losses in place. And if it does reverse, we don't have to work at adapting our strategy because we already have looked at the other way. But it's good to know where we think things are going and to keep track of that over time, because if we keep consistently missing the mark entirely, I don't mean by missing it by 3%, I mean missing it on the direction over a period of time, then we need to reevaluate how we're looking at these markets. So I think it's time to jump into the screen here, jump into the charts. Make sure you're following BitLab Academy, which is at Academy BitLab here on Twitter. And then, of course, make sure you are following, if you would, share these when we do these in the morning, retweet these things. Let's build this community. Let's get more people in here, because it's not just about me sharing what's going on in the market. The whole point of this is to help bring more understanding to the crypto market so we have a healthier market, because people are navigating it and making money in this asset class, making money in this sector, not losing money. And so the bigger we build these types of communities, the faster we can get people in the know about how to take advantage of market movements and get ourselves in position to not be completely washed out. So with that being said, I'm just going to go over to my profile. Make sure to follow me here at Kelly Kellam, which is KELOY-KELLAM. So let's go ahead and jump in here. First thing we're going to look at, again, one of my favorite guys to follow here on Twitter, at Game of Trades. underscore, and we could see that there is a bit of a bullish sentiment that has been on a rapid rise. The bull ratio is now back to pre-2022 bear market levels. So does this mean we're going full bull? No. But what we're looking at here with this metric is the sort of put to call ratio, also the pressure in the market, and understanding the nature of the market participant sentiment on a grander scale. Trying to gather whether when we get pullbacks, are those pullbacks going to be met with bulls buying the dip? We're going to continue to the upside, or are those pullbacks actually a rejection and we're going to see continued downside? So as we're seeing right now, we've broken this trend of bearishness, which we keep getting rejected here. We've broken past this level here. We can do TA on all kinds of charts. So we are seeing a new trend in the bullish sort of the bull ratio in the market. So that's just something to keep in mind as we're looking at some of the other data here, because it might help us form our thesis in a more concerted and a more healthy manner. So now moving forward, we can see here, this is the NVRV Z-score. Actually just did a video on this for one of the lessons in BitLab Academy. We have a whole on-chain course in there with, 15 or 18 different on-chain charts, as well as identifying tops and bottoms. And we can see here with the NVRV score, NVRV Z-score, he put this on a 50-day EMA, 50-day exponential moving average. And when we see this, this has kind of cleaned up some of the noise that was in this chart, because it's smoothed it out, because it's looking at a 50-day average. And we have just left this accumulation zone as interpreted here on the NVRV Z-score. And we can see in previous times when this has broken out of the Z-score here, has broken out of this level, we have also seen a strong correlation with the start of a strong uptrend. Boom, we see here, boom. And of course, we've already seen a little bit of an upward trend here, but this does not yet mean we're going full bull. So let's go ahead and just to bring it back to you all, the NVRV score, what we're looking at here is the price, which is this black line on which is essentially the price action is charting the speculative value of the asset over time, right? What number you're seeing on charts to trade. And then the NVRV score that we're seeing in orange, this is measuring and weighing the ratio between the Bitcoin price on this chart, the Bitcoin price, and the realized price. Now, this is a speculative price that we're seeing here, the market value of the asset. The realized price is a good way to get a more balanced sort of view on the price of it's almost like the intrinsic value of the asset class, because with realized price, you're looking at the average of every coin in Bitcoin circulation the last time it moved. So what was the price of every coin in circulation the last time it was moved? Because a lot of people have bought and hold for 5 or 7 years. Some people have bought and hold for 3 years. Some 1 year. Some, when you get a disproportionate number of people, short-term holders, and a lot of coins are moving, and those long-term holders capitulate and start selling. We see this this peak come up into this, where we're seeing the peak correlate with market cycle peaks. And when we see this drop down, the speculative value, this market value, is now dropping below, because you can't see it on the left, but there's a zero marking here. We're dropping below the realized value, showing that we are undervalued on the market value. The price is undervalued. Now, moving on here, we're going to be getting into some charts to look at the price now. So I've talked about some bullishness where we might be entering this bull zone, but we also see we have to take into context some of the bearish signals that are still there that we have not broken through. On this weekly Bitcoin weekly chart, we can see we have not broken through the 200-week moving average. We're finding resistance right at this level. And isn't it crazy how this level is also perfectly correlated with the level, when we look here, that's perfectly correlated. Actually, I'm going to go over to this. Yeah, I think it's this chart here. No, this chart right here. This is perfectly correlated with the where the golden pocket was on this massive dip here from June of 2022. We see this all the way down to the bottom, the golden pocket. We have this resistance right here, as well as the previous high, the further back, the high in this range, we barely broke it and got rejected, and that's also perfectly correlated with where this 200-week moving average is. So what we're seeing is we're seeing a confluence, meaning a grouping of several different indicators or signals in agreement with a bearish sort of resistance zone, which is why, as much as we pushed up to that, I was calling yesterday and for the last few days that even if we get pushed up to this level, that it's likely that we need to make sure we're tuned in to the bearish signals that are there as well. Because I'm very bullish right now. And I'm even more bullish if we do have this pullback, which we have, even if we went a little further and the bulls come in and we find authority there, really establishing the bullish narrative. So I'm just pointing out that we do have this this pause zone for Bitcoin. And I called this out in the title. I don't think it was on the thumbnail, but in the title of this is that Bitcoin is sort of stalling right now. And it makes sense because of this massive, I'm going to delete this. There we go. Because of this massive resistance zone that we did break through, we see this wick, meaning the small, this is how far price action, the bulls pushed it all the way up to here. The candle opened right here. The bulls pushed it all the way up to here, got rejected at this previous price action high, and then rejected, came right back into now we're holding below where this golden pocket is. So there's a little bit of a stalling here, which is okay. It'd be actually very nice to see if Bitcoin kind of, ranged here, got rejected. If this ranges here and the bulls are finding their footing and the bears cannot take control to the downside, then that's giving us some indication about bullishness and that sentiment in the market that we are talking about here. But then also, we have to remember, these markets are cyclical. They work. Bitcoin doesn't work alone. Bitcoin works with, it's I don't want to call it a subordinate, but the traditional markets and the dollar index and Chinese treasury yields and larger asset classes can weigh more heavily on, just one second, we got to have a special guest for you in a second. These larger asset classes can weigh more heavily on the price action and the sentiment of what's happening in Bitcoin, because we're getting that risk on, risk off narrative understood by where assets are flowing globally. Now, similarly to when we're looking at Bitcoin to the traditional markets, we can look at Bitcoin as a superior sort of asset within the crypto ecosystem. And therefore, if Bitcoin has a bullish sentiment there, but it does take a breather, then that cyclical flow of money can also then, if the bullish narrative is still there, which we will see actually, the signal partially will be what altcoins do. If altcoins can rally right now while Bitcoin is taking a breather, then we're seeing that the sentiment of the market as a whole is actually carrying this bullish sentiment. Now, I have got a special guest for you. I'm going to bring him up on the stage. You might know him as the man with the plan, the man who's got that strong jawline, Mr. AJ Wright Crypto himself. This is one of our friends and compatriots here at BitBoy Crypto. Does a lot of the writing, and he is Mr. Algorand. But we're going to talk about some crypto. We're going to talk about some charts, and I'm going to let him take over for a little bit since we only have one mic. All I need is one mic. And I'm going to let him take over for a little bit. He's on my computer, so he's not going to have his charts up. But I'm going to throw a question at you.
All right.
What are you seeing? Bitcoin stalling a little bit. I have some charts that I'm going to pull up after you're done.
Sure.
But I'm looking at a variety of different alts. I'm seeing some strength. I'm seeing some breakouts that we're not seeing within Bitcoin, but we are seeing this bullishness come in. Are there any sort of projects? I already have an idea of probably what one or two of them are. But are you seeing some projects that you think the community here should be at least having an eye on? And what are you looking for to see if bullishness is coming in or if the bears will reject the market and bring us further lower? On to you, brother.
All right. Hey. Hold on, I kind of gotta.
No.
Okay.
I'll bring you up.
BitLab Academy. What's going on? My name is AJ Wright Crypto. This is my guy Kelly. You guys know him. I'm totally stoked that he's doing these live streams every morning. If you guys want to get solid TA every morning, I would definitely get up and get it from this guy. He's one of the best in the game. Got a lot of love for this dude. He's doing a great job. Bitcoin. So what I don't like is that, so we fall down in June, right? Okay, I'll use the mouse. Cool. Actually, I prefer this. We fall down in June. Are we fighting here? Are we fighting over the mouse? I'll fight over the mouse. Yeah.
There we go.
I met you in San Jose with my husband, Miria. Very nice. Oh man, that book tour was so much fun. It is insane the amount of people that have messaged me and from the book tour, like so great to meet you and everything. So thanks for coming out to the book tour. That means a lot to us. We're actually next Thursday, we're flying to Philadelphia, which is like basically my hometown. Gonna have a bunch of friends there, and then we're going to New York the day after that, and then I'll spend the weekend in Maryland with my family, ride some dirt bikes and stuff. That's kind of my thing. So here's the thing with Bitcoin is that what I don't like is that, all right, so we're here, we're in the summertime, right? We're at the beach, Bitcoin's still over 30 grand. Like maybe it's not a bear market, but then the day in June happened. I was at a motocross race that didn't have any service in West Virginia, High Point Pro National. And I actually made my dad drive me a couple miles away to this gas station so I could buy some 30-cent Matic. And then, so that day it will forever ring in my mind. And that day also kind of set the tone for the floor, you know, that support level there for most of the summer. Basically, we didn't lose that floor into November. But when we did that June low, right? And then we popped up here to basically right around this 25K high 24 level. What I am not in love with is that, yes, we did break 25 yesterday, but when you kind of put your mouse on it, it's right. It did not break through that pop up after the June floor. If we popped up to 26 to 25.5, you know, something more substantial than that level, I would be more inclined to want to be bullish. But I do not like that we did not get over that level, and it kind of scares me moving forward. If we so happen, oh my God, I'm drawing arrows out of here. What am I doing here? Okay. So if we were to somehow flip and get over that level, I would be very excited about it. But in the meantime, like Kelly said, there will be some sideways action while altcoins kind of take the front seat. Some altcoins that I'm looking at right now, I've been day trading a lot. Many of you know I like to day trade Fantom. I've had my eye on AGIX, but AGIX is actually kind of another story. It's an AI coin. BitBoy and I recently I helped him with the AI video. Definitely take a look onto that video. I'm not telling you to go buy AI coins right now, but I am telling you that you at the very least need to do some serious homework and look in to these AI projects. You know, we had the DeFi summer, we had the metaverse pump, you know, that one Halloween and Halloween in 21. And you know, that was kind of the niche at the time. I think the niche at the time right now, without a shadow of the doubt, is AI coins. So the coins you should be looking at, Fetch, Ocean, The Graph, AGIX, Alethea, there's a bunch of them, but definitely take a deep dive into those coins. They are the sand, the manas, the engine of today. So keep that in mind. So what happened? Oh, I picked the wrong AGIX chart. Very sorry. I'm looking for the KuCoin one. There we go. I clicked the Binance one. So AGIX, you know, had a really nice come up here, but what I'm not in love with is that once again, if you look at the top of this wick and then you look at its all-time high back here in September, we got shut down right below that wick. And that kind of scares me moving forward, being really bullish with AGIX until we find a way to get over this important level here. We aren't going to, like, when it keeps getting shut down at the same point. It's really funny how, like, on a lot of charts, if you draw like a line across, like right here, how many times this touches in the chart. So, but one coin that I am more inclined to tell people to buy right now, that tell people that this is a coin that I think has a lot of momentum in the future, is Sand. Kelly recently more acclimated me to this, to the hidden volume BitLab indicator. You know, I'm really good friends with Sean from Lux Algo, big crypto face fan, like Market Cipher. I am really comfortable with the chart setup I have, and I've been using those for a long time. But recently, I have been diving more into the BitLab indicators. And at first, I was really unsure just because I didn't know. It's kind of like when a new band comes out and you don't like them just because you don't know them. But then when you know the words and see them live, you're like, oh my God, they're amazing. That's what I feel about the BitLab indicators over time. But what I am seeing here with Sand is in the hidden volume here, it looks like we have a little case that it right here, we've got a low and then a high. I believe that Sand, and also, can I pull up a visible range volume indicator on the side here?
Yeah.
Visible range volume profile, excuse me. All right. So what I like about this Sand right here is that I was looking at this on my computer, is that once this kind of corrects, why is that being so weird?
Here, double click from here to 225 or you get a lot more resolution.
Okay. Yes, that's much better. Thank you. So this is actually a little bit different than what I was seeing on my computer, but at the end of the day, this could be interpreted as, you know, shoulder, head, shoulder. That could be playing out here. That is a possible interpretation. But what I'm looking at here is the hidden volume. The hidden volume, we kind of got a little bullish D right here. And also another thing I like with the visible range volume profile is that there's kind of a gap in the volume profile. And right now we're kind of sitting right at that point of control. And also this level that we're sitting at is also the floor from when we, you know, kind of found this floor back here in June. So we kind of popped off that. So we're fighting at that level right now. What I like is that this gap here, I kind of feel like Sand. And also if you kind of look to this level back here as it came, once it hit that level, and also notice that that is right where the volume profile is hanging out, I kind of feel that Sand could push up into this $1.29, $1.30 range from its 75 cent, from where it is now at 75 cents. And if we measure that, that is a 79% pump. I am looking at Sand. I will be in this position with you. If you want to jump in it with me, let me know how it goes. You know, be careful, do your own research. Don't just do it because I'm doing it. Manage your risk. Yeah, all X, Y, and Z do that. But I am looking at Sand right now, especially because, you know, like Kelly said, Bitcoin's kind of finding where it's at, and altcoins might take the reins for this next little bit. So that's kind of my piece. You know, let me know how it goes. My name is AJ Writes Crypto. Everyone that's in here right now, I want you to know that you woke up this morning and you made a decision to better yourself. You made a decision, instead of playing video games or whatever, to focus your energy, to focus your bandwidth into learning more about crypto. I don't take that lightly. I take that very seriously. And because you're just choosing to do that, you're understanding that crypto isn't just like this thing you do. You don't just put money in it and wait. Yeah, you could do that, but you're choosing to make crypto a lifestyle. And when you make crypto a lifestyle and you make these decisions every day to continue to learn, continue your education, and to better yourself, it will pay off in the long run. So if you're here today, in here, give yourself a solid pat on the back. You're doing the right thing. My guy Kelly, you're in wonderful hands. He's one of the best in the business, and I'm just grateful to be here. So my name's AJ Writes Crypto. Let me know how you do at that Sand position. I'm out. Peace out, brother.
Sharing the love.
Yeah, man.
Everybody throw in chat right there if you like what you heard. You got to follow him. I'll pull up his Twitter right now so you guys can all follow him. It is at AJ Writes. It's RITEZ, right? Right. I can spell. It is AJ Writes Crypto. I'm pulling this up right here. This go give him a follow. He does a lot of the really great content that you see on when you see the really informative videos on BitBoy Crypto, the really in-depth sort of knowledge pieces. He does all the research for those and writes those out. So really smart guy, incredible trader as well. So definitely give him a follow. Look at him. He's pushing up at 7K right there. So thanks for the shout there, AJ. Thanks for joining us, taking time out of your schedule. So big shout out to you, brother. And for everybody else, everything he said, I agree with entirely. And you see how he was utilizing the hidden volume as well as looking at the volume profile, utilizing volume. I feel like is one of the unsung heroes of really understanding how to best dominate your crypto trading and investing strategy, because volume shows interest. More than anything else, you're seeing if you have a push up with no volume, that means that's a fake push up. They're trying to push price higher so that they can get higher positions to short. The institutions, the smart money, the people that know how to move, know how to engage with this market, because what they're trying to do is to get you to buy. They're trying to push up here and get you to buy, and then drop it on your face. And we see the same thing here. We see the volume coming in right here on the bottom on the hidden volume. This is part of the BitLab trading stack, which, by the way, you can find all this information over at bitlabacademy.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. I'll be putting out this newsletter later today. You get entered to win a free month of the courses and a free month of the indicators. We have so many new courses, so many new lessons coming. It's nothing like the current BitLab right now, but there's great stuff in there currently. So get involved, because the price is going to be going up very shortly here in the matter of a couple weeks. And everybody that's a member before that happens, you get grandfathered in at the lower price for the lifetime of your account. And you can find more information on the indicators right here, bitlabacademy.com. Come over to indicators, and you can use. Let's say you come here, you do give you access, and if you come down, let's go ahead and load, put in your information, and click right here on have a coupon right here, and put in relaunch 15 by this weekend, and you get an additional 15% off the courses or the indicators, and you can do that right there, and you get access to all the wonderful indicators we have here. That's the hidden volume, the relative extrema, significant movement, as well as the market intelligence, which between these 4 indicators alone, this is a combination really of about 20 different indicators that we use to pull the data to really get you these really great signals. And you can see where all these divergences line up perfectly with where the price action is moving to the upside and downside, as well as the marking of highs and lows. And we didn't want to put buy and sell on this, and those indicators are fine as well, but what we wanted to do is have a more advanced sort of thing, so you can determine through the signals that are available to you with this indicator package, you can determine when the buy or sell is right for you. And when you get we have 3 divergences here to the downside, as well as a bearish divergence on the hidden volume, as well as a relative extrema sticking out, and as well leading into this, this was overheated all the way back here. So this is likely having 1, 2, 3, 4 signal. This would have been a smart either take profit from this move or potentially a short looking for wherever your exit is. You also have this EMA ribbon, so much there, but I don't need to show to you guys. This is an incredible package. But what I want to do, I want to throw it back to chat for a second and just first, we're going to look at Mike Vollmer. We're going to check out the Cardano here in a moment. I do want to shout out everybody that's in chat here. AJ said it best. If you are here, especially at this spot in the market, we had a long drawdown in 2022, and we're continuing to build our knowledge, sharpen our sword, so that we could take the best, most educated, probable swings at the market, so that we could take advantage of those swings, buying those dips and taking profit at good, healthy take profit levels. Now, getting back to what we were talking about, jumping back to Bitcoin for a second before we run through and do a few more altcoins over the rest of the show. We are finding this sort of zone, and I'm going to zoom in on this I'm going to zoom in on this a bit. We're on a daily. Let's come down to the 24-minute. Let's look at what's happening here. Now, we got rejected right at that level. I mean, literally right. We pushed past it, trapped some people long, and we also had an overheated symbol right here, which gave you a clue that as soon as we got this divergence, I'm going to shrink this so we can see it. As soon as we got the MACD, RSI, and stochastic divergences, is that your signal to necessarily take profit or take a short? Not necessarily, because you want to have, I call it the 1, 2, 3 confluence. Just like with the market cycles, I can't see my screen. Just like with the market cycles, there we go. Just like with the market cycles, we can we want to see the macro, midterm, micro. Same thing when we're utilizing indicators, even though that these are a combination of indicators, I look at them as individual indicators, and I like having that 1, 2, 3, and hopefully a 4 confluence if we can find it. I'm going to pull up make sure the There we go, the volume. So now we have the bearish divergence right here, which is leading into this, which is showing that this was a bit of a false move. We come into resistance. We have three bearish divergences. We have an overheated zone. This flipped from a floor right here on this small pullback to overheated, and then we get the high. So there was every clear signal in the book that this was a good spot to take profits on the move up if you hadn't already, because we reached this level, and a good indication that if you were playing swings to the upside and the downside, that this was a potential short region because we got that 1, 2, 3 confluence. Now we're getting a bit of a sideways action where we were rolling over to the top. We got rejection. Now we're rolled down and we're trying to push back up, and we're finding that resistance. And I've already talked about this. We can go back out to the 4 hour. We're finding that resistance right at this golden pocket. So if this, and it's looking overheated. See this red wave right here? We pushed up into it. We got the bearish div on the 4 hour as well, on the volume, as well as this overheated zone. And so what I'm looking for here, if the sentiment and everybody's really trying to be irrational in the markets, being that we have such bearish economic headwinds and everything going on with regulation and just cloudy sort of uncertainty about markets and inflation and the data coming in, then this push up seems a little unfounded. It's not just Bitcoin. It's traditional markets. It's everything is kind of acting irrationally right now, but there is a bullish sort of, I don't want to call it a floor, a bullish sentiment regarding what's happening in the market right now. And we can take advantage of that if we do it carefully. And if this is going to sustain, because we did get this, by the looks of this, get this confirmation. I'm gonna hide this so we look just at price action. We did break through. We did get the confirmation here that we flipping this to support, and we are getting a needed sort of pause here. And with the pause that we're getting, is this a period that we're going to have bearishness come back in, or is this going to sustain sideways for a little bit, consolidate? In which case, we can look to altcoins and understand what is happening. So I'm going to come over here to this chart, and we're going to look at a few things here. We're going to look at the Bitcoin dominance, and then we're going to look at the couple different total market caps. And what I want to see here is we have this range that we've been trading in, and Bitcoin's dominance, meaning the value of Bitcoin, as opposed when we look at the total crypto market cap of every coin that's available and out there in crypto, how much of the market cap of everything combined, how much of that market cap is comprised of Bitcoin alone? And right now it sits at Bitcoin dominance is at 40.4%. And we can see this here on the top of CoinGecko, on the top of CoinMarketCap, on the top of Coin Paprika. You can see that 40% of the entire crypto market is made up of Bitcoin alone. So what we want to notice here is if we get some sort of rejection on this this dominance, where are we at? We're actually looking here. If we're getting any sort of rejection here, because we failed to break this high right here. Option J gives me a horizontal ray, or if you're on PC, it's Alt J, not the artist, but the horizontal ray. And we're seeing this momentum push up and then roll over, find support, push up, roll over, find support. Now, we're getting already weakness below the previous high. So what I'm seeing here on the dominance is that there's some weakness in Bitcoin while the bullishness is still sustaining price without letting it fall to the floor. So if Bitcoin dominance is going to suffer, for Bitcoin dominance to suffer, that then means that the altcoin part of the market, Ethereum and then all the other alts, that means that contingent minus Bitcoin is seeing capital flow into it at a faster pace than Bitcoin. That's what we're measuring here, looking at the Bitcoin dominance. So now if we click on the chart, press Alt Enter or Option Enter, that brings us back to our multi-chart thing. If you don't have this set up, you just click on this thing here. Yours might look like just a square, but you can set on this zone how many charts you want to have up, and it might depend on what sort of level of TradingView membership that you have, but it is worth getting at least a basic pro package so you can do this sort of thing, so you can pull up multiple charts and have multiple indicators. So what we want to look at here, now we're looking at Bitcoin as it relates, we're looking at the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, and this is looking a little bit more bullish because this has reached parity and actually broken this level here. So this is looking stronger than the Bitcoin dominance that we just looked at. In addition to that, look at this. We have a bullish We have a bullish div on the hidden volume right here, showing some strength, and this is finding support on this EMA ribbon. So the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin, the altcoin market, is looking like it's setting up for more pressure to come in inside of it. So now we can go out of this chart, and I actually want to pull up, not the crypto total market cap, I want to pull up the USDT, there we go, USDT.D, and we can see, if we pull this up, for whatever reason that is on the, okay, that's on the daily. This is starting to roll over a little bit, and this is good. We want to see the dominance of stablecoins, meaning coins that are dry powder, coins that are sitting on the sidelines, especially, it's basically currency that people have already allocated into the crypto ecosystem. And when we see the dominance of this fall, this means that this money is being deployed into crypto. So this bearish price action for this specific chart is actually a bullish allegory for crypto markets. So we found a rejection right here, and now we're trying to find a little bit of support. I'm going to do, there we go, a little bit of support right here. And this is a bearish sort of setup. We can do another one here. This is almost almost a descending wedge, but we can see this is rolled over. And now we're getting, if this doesn't break back above this, which it's looking weak here, then we're getting a lower high right here, and looking for further downside on the dominance of USDT, which therefore means strength for liquidity for the crypto markets. Now, what I want to do here is I want to jump over to, I want to just pull up this right here. I want to look at CoinGecko, and when you come to CoinGecko, come down to cryptocurrencies, don't click on it, put your mouse over it, come down to watch lists, and they do a really great job of organizing different categories of watch lists. If you scroll down here, we can go to price change since all-time high. Click view more, and then when we do this, we can see how far away from the all-time high various different coins are. And in this case, I think it gives us the coins that are in the top 100 or 200 that are, and how far they are away from their all-time high. Now, this isn't going to be a perfect signal of what you should get in because it's down low. For instance, Luna Classic is somewhere down here, but it's like, 99%, 99%, or yeah, where's Zcash? It's somewhere here. So my point is, just because you see a huge downside is very far away from its all-time high, doesn't mean it's a good bet. But if you have a good understanding of the broad crypto market, and you've been watching videos here, and BitBoy and Frankie Candles and Tom Crown and Crypto Jab and Investor Bros and all the, whatever different tools you're using, and also doing your own research, looking into what's happening on DeFi Llama, and just paying attention to the news within the ecosystem of crypto, and you're aware of some projects that you've had your eye on, like the Graph, which he mentioned, Optimism, Cardano, Atom, Avax. See, here's Luna C, 100% down. That does not make this a good buy, because we know this is a failed project. Tezos, which just had some great integration, I think, in California for NFTs for car registration, which shows a lot of promise. Sand, as much as the pump that he was talking about, this is still down 90%. Flow down 97%. Eagle down 91%. Theta down 92%. ICP, one of the victims of the malfeasance of FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried and them trying to crush this market because it competed with Solana. So this is actually a very great protocol. Crypto Crow just did an excellent video on this the other day. So did BitBoy Crypto a month or so back. The protocol here is incredible. And look how far down they are from all-time high. So just to get back to all-time high, you could have a 10x just getting to all-time high again if that were to happen. So I like to just peek at this when I'm seeing that altcoins might have a chance to rally. I try to align my data set, my understanding of what's happening in the market, understanding of the fundamental developments of different coins. Is there an increase in transaction fee over time? For instance, Lido, the entire bear market had an increase of transaction fees, meaning and adoption of users. So the fundamentals of that project was growing. So you can look at these things and then identify if things are going to run. Now you have an idea of where they at and how you could or how you should or shouldn't allocate. And we can see, Chainlink is one of the unsung heroes of the crypto market. Why? Because it's basically, it's not the only, but is the by like 90% most utilized crypto oracle, allowing verifiable data to be pulled that is locked into blockchain, that's aggregated from different places. So the data you're getting from Chainlink is going to be accurate. And then when you think about the digital sector, the digital world that we are evolving into, a project like Chainlink is absolutely pivotal to making sure that the transparency of the numbers and the values used, especially in financial services, that needs to be a thing. Now we talk about things like interoperability, like Atom, like DOT, like any of these interoperable sort of coin protocols. And then we think about metaverse, and if you're going between two different projects and there's you're exchanging one token for another, or you want to make sure that it is the right amount. And so much so that for us, if you're exchanging $20 worth of a project for another token, it might not have a huge effect on you. But think about large institutions or marketplaces or anything of that large magnitude when they're sending funds or requiring to get data sets to make certain determinations about asset allocation, or if they're sending 100 million of Bitcoin and they're sending it over to this other protocol and it has to be converted along the way to Ethereum, then they want to make sure that that data is not manipulated by any force. It is a transparent and verified data set that that this value is the value that is the best and current and most accurate value for it. Because if you're doing $100 million and you're 0.2% off on that calculation, then that could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars over time, depending on how large those transactions are. So understanding these things when we're looking at these projects gives you a great sort of viewpoint on different types of things that you can have your awareness on. Now, when we're looking at, I'm going to start with Filecoin here, because Filecoin is a decentralized storage play, which when we think about where we're going globally, and just think about your own use case. Not everybody here, but your own use case for what you're doing with your job. Many jobs now, I know myself, most things I'm doing work on, I don't save them on my computer, whatever computers I'm working on at home or at work or if I travel. I do work through Google Docs. I do work through, I do stuff on basically shared iCloud, shared sort of cloud services so that I have access to my files anywhere. But then at the same token, or at the same time, I should say, not to be confused with token, but at the same time, when I'm doing that, I have to be aware that all my data is being stored and managed by a centralized service. So what were to happen if there's a bad actor within that space, or if that company were to suffer some major loss and be forced to close, whatever those sorts of considerations are, we have to consider, when we're moving into metaverse, when we're moving into, the huge development of the gaming industry, all these things are going to be utilizing these infrastructure plays like Arweave and Filecoin. So when we look at something like this and we see this, I'm going to shrink this, and we see this massive pump that's already happened, is this already going to be rejected? Well, just looking at price action, we can see that we've already, I'm going to press shift, do a measurement tool. We've already got a 61% pump, 57, basically roughly 60% pump on Filecoin from this level here up to here. If we do this all the way from this point, press shift, click on the chart, we go up. This is 150, 160% pump. Is this already ready to be rolling over? Well, when we consider, if we come back over here, we consider this is down 96% from its all-time high. That means it's got a long way to go. Now, I'm only saying that because you don't want to get into a project, in the middle of the pump. But what I'm saying is if you are in this project, there's no full clear sign right now that this is absolutely at the end of its rope, because really the first spot I'd be looking at is this spot right here, about $7.90, because we've already broken this high here. We can tell option J or Alt J on PC. We've broken through this level, and the next stop in terms of just price action alone, not utilizing any indicators or any momentum or volume or any of that, just looking at this, the next stop above us is this level right above us here. So now I'm going to come down to the 24-minute and look at this. See, we're still increasing in momentum. So this is how we sort of pay attention to these things. If you are in this is an excellent take profit zone to you don't necessarily need to do 100%, but take some profits. There's no point in trading and investing if you're not taking profits along the way, because we've all seen in crypto that markets can reverse on a dime, and you can be underwater quite quickly if you're not taking profits and reallocating them either to your HODL portfolio or to other assets along the way. We are seeing, though, look at this, bearish divergences on the volume, so that's not agreeing with this. This is looking overheated. Now looking here on the relative extrema, this was way outside of the cloud. So there is some bearishness here. This might be leading into this rolling over just short of, the $7.60 to $7.80. But what we can do is we can pull up the VPVR, which is the volume VP. Some people call it VPVR. Some people call it VRVP. What we can do here is we can zoom out on this. We're going to go back to the 2 hour. And we're going to look at, let's go to the 4 hour. There we go. Now we have volume to look at. So you see this? You see how fast this is rocketing? We have this volume gap right here, massive volume gap, and we've rocketed right through it, and the shelf is right at where I was talking about this previous price action lows right here, which is at that $7.90 level. So that's an area that I'd be looking for definitely a pause on Filecoin. Now, when we zoom down and we come over to, if we were to just retrace from here in reverse, we can do Option F or Alt F if you're on PC. We're going to zoom out over here, and we can see, look at where this volume, this floor of volume is. If we were to fall, it's right at where this golden pocket is, which is also where this previous price action tops are. So we're seeing confluence here. So if we were to roll over here, I would be looking for a little bit of a pause at $6.40, and then coming down ultimately down to about $5.70. That's what I'm seeing for Filecoin. Now coming over to ADA, let's go take a peek at ADA. I'm going to go 12 hour. Now, what I immediately see here, let me know if you see the dominant pattern on this chart. What pattern do you see on this chart? And is it bullish or is it bearish? Well, I'll give you a hint. We've got the push down here that was bearish, and the bulls ate it back up to this level. Then the bears pushed us all the way down to this level, ate it back up to this area. Now we're looking like we're forming a bit of a neckline, and this rolls back over, which is somewhat near where this low was, and this roll back over. So we have an inverted head and shoulders here on the 12 hour on Cardano. And let's go to auto. We have this volume floor right above us as well. Okay, we have a volume floor. I'm going to double click on this. I don't like this is when it's super blocky, so I always double click on it. 225 gives me a lot more bars, as we can see there. And the point of control is just above us at this 46 cents level. So I'm looking for 46 cents level next if we don't get some ultimate rejection here, a bunch of stupid talk from some of these, state Fed board members. Which they've just been saying some stupid stuff lately. But this is a bullish sort of setup here. And we can do Option T for a trend line, or Alt T if you're on PC. We have this trend line that's just like this. If we zoom into this, it looks like the price, depending on how you draw this, it looks like the price was it basically bounced here, tried to break through, and it's unclear if we've bounced and identified this flip to actual support now, or if this is under it and going to get rejected. So there's a little bit of a watchful eye on Cardano, but we're on the 12 hour. So let's come down to the 1 hour and see what's going on here. Now, we are seeing a lot of choppiness, bearish divs dominating here on the volume as the pushed up. So this rollover made sense. If we turn on the market intelligence, we can see that we got divs in line preceding. I believe this is M, I believe, is money flow index. Let's see. Yeah, so money flow index was showing weakness here. This did get the push up. We rolled over. I hate that auto does that. We rolled over with two bearish divs here, followed up with a bearish div and a bullish div on volume. So there's some question here, but we are finding support on this EMA ribbon, as we can see right here. Now, I am still looking for a likely push up to this 44 cents level on this time frame, looking for a move, which would be roughly a 10% move up to this 44 cent level. If we were to break down from here, then we can, I'm going to double click on the chart, move this up. We can do option F from the low here all the way to the top. And we can see that this is interesting. The golden pocket is in line with these previous price action tops, but there is a bit of a hole in volume, the volume traded. Let's see. Okay, not so much. It was just the range we were in, the time frame. We're going to look at on this time frame, and we can see, okay, now on this one, there's not a gap in volume. So if we do break down below this is looking a little bearish at this level right here. Option T. We got a bit of a trend line here. If this pushes up to this level at 40 cents, 40 and a half cents, this will be the critical. If we get resistance here, and we're already looking like we're trying to get it. This is on the 8 hour, of course. If we get resistance here and break down, I am looking at this level around 37.5 cents. But with a stop, we may get a bounce here at the level, because we have tops and this bottom right at the 38.6 cents. This would be the level I'm looking at, and if we're going lower, I'm definitely having targets in this range here at the 37 cent range. Now, but I am feeling bullish. So let's go over to AVAX. Look at AVAX. Okay, now we got a bit of a bearish structure here. Although this rolled over, and now we're on the 15 minutes. Let's go to the 1 hour. So we have a double top formation, and what have I said time and time again? We want to understand market cycles and how they play out, how trends play out. And so if we get the double or triple top, and then this is when we can start to see this first push up. If we do get a rejection, then we're looking for starting of that trend line. And that's starting to what it kind of looks like right now on AVAX, because we have this double top, this push down and pull back up. That's essentially what this first move is here. And this is not necessarily clear. Let's okay, we have bullish volume divergence right here, and the floor signal for this downtrend right here on significant movement. The question here is this going to be something that bounces and continues to the upside, or is this very bearish double top structure that ends up having a lower high because of this wick? Now, is this going to be the ultimate sort of stair step down that we get like this, which essentially you get a push down, a relief up or sideways, and then a continuation to the downside? So that's AVAX is looking a little bit bearish in the structure due to that. And in addition to all that, we can see that this is a trend line here. We can see a bit of a shape here with this downside as this continues up, and this pointing up, this ascending wedge is inherently bearish, especially in conjunction with this double top. And so what we would do here, this is kind of a bear flag, kind of not, because this is almost as long as this entire move. If we were to measure this way, if it were a bear flag, then the target would be down here, which is right at this volume level, this high volume node. But otherwise, we can also do option T from this zone here. This is how you can get some multiple targets. If we are more bullish than bearish, then we can get this sort of move here where we do move to the downside and then ultimately move back to the upside. But the caution here, I will tell you, is we did get a bullish sort of div on the hidden volume, as we can see this flag right here, which means that there was pressure coming in, but this resulted in sort of a bearish. This resulted in lack of bulls following through. We're barely getting up to this sort of trend line, and look at this on the extrema, the relative extrema. When these are outside of the cloud on the same side like this is to the upside. This is bearish. And when the cloud is on the opposite side, and these are way outside, obviously outside the cloud, this is pointing to the upside. This is like a slingshot being pulled back with bearish pressure to the downside. And we can see this through this entire move from here, option V, all the way to here, option V. This gives us a vertical line. If you're on PC, it's Alt V. And we can see that this is bearish all the way through this level. Immediately following a bullish signal, we're getting a dominance of bearish pressure on this level. So I'm expecting this to break down. And if so, we can double click on the chart, minimize the rest. Just so you guys know, you see how I have all these other indicators up? If you double click on the chart with your pointer, not a paintbrush or anything like that, it will minimize other indicators on your chart. So we can do option F from the bottom here, which gives us a Fibonacci. And we can go to the top here. We could kind of do two different levels. They look like they're pretty in line with each other. I'm going to do it from this level because this is the candle bodies are on this. And what I was looking at is this golden pocket is perfectly in line with where this high volume node is right here. So if we do break down from this, I would expect two stopping points, option J. I would expect a stopping point for around $18.50 for Avax. And then if we lose that level, if there is bearishness that comes into the market, then I would be looking down for the 1807. Now, upside targets on this would be if we push back up to this level, which is looking weaker on Avax because it did have a pretty strong push up here. If we do push up to this level and we're able to dominate this level at $20.16, then the next level I'm looking at is the next high, which is right here at the $21.04. That's what I'm seeing on these charts right now. But the point is, the market is at a place right now where the bulls and bears are trying to fight for dominance. And that's what we're seeing when we're looking at these price action charts. That's what we're seeing when we're watching bullish candles or bearish candles. When you see a bullish candles on any time frame, a 1 minute or a 1 month, if you have a bullish candle, that means that the bulls dominated the psychology of the market at that point in time was more bullish than bearish because the candle opened and closed in a bullish faction. And similarly, if you see a bearish candle, then what that means is that the dominant narrative, the dominant psychology of the market at that time is inherently more bearish. So what we're doing right now, because we are in between trends, we are in this region right now trying to determine if we're getting this to really establish this upside. This dot right here is this dot right here. I have the charts up now. This dot right here is essentially, this target is essentially the same right here as this here, showing that we've established an uptrend. And this is what everybody's fighting over right here. This is the real estate that everybody wants. So with that, that's all I got for you in today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Kelly Kellam. I really appreciate you all. I'm so happy to have gotten my money back from Coinbase. Make sure before, at any time, make sure you check out the bitlabacademy.com. Head over to BitLab Academy and sign up for the newsletter, which is right there. I'm sending it out later today. You get an opportunity in the newsletter also to vote on some coins and content that will be in next week's stream, as well as being entered to win 1 free month access to courses and indicators. So make sure you put your email in here and you get a free newsletter as well as all the other stuff. So with that being said, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that bell. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. I will see you later. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being my friend. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you in the BitLab again.